Hey guys, we're out here with Joel from Panzerfaust Armory, and we're at the Panzerfaust Armory range again. Thanks for letting us out here.
Absolutely.
Joel, us as if it's more than just me. And, so today, I've been wanting to do this for a long time. It's been like over a year since I've shot live ammo through a gun. But we're going to be shooting the Johnson rifle and an M1 a little bit, just to kind of give it a little comparison. We're shooting it to the M1. And then I also have a 7mm Mauser drop-in barrel for the Johnson. So we're going to be shooting 30-06 and 7mm Mauser through the Johnson and kind of compare them and see how all the different rounds work out. I have a feeling, just from running the 7mm through the Johnson, that the last round, the bolt hold open will engage with one round left in the magazine. So if we run into that, that's what that is. But yeah, I'm super excited about shooting the Johnson with the M1. This
That'd
is
be a first for me.
It's a long time coming. I just put a video out with the stock, you know, putting the brand new Milsurp stock on the Johnson. So I feel like it's finally good enough to be on camera now. So
yeah,
nice.
Dress it up first.
Yeah, sweet. All right, man, we'll shoot these. How about we put we'll each put 4 rounds through the M1. I think that'll give us like a baseline of like 30-06 recoil and what the M1 kind of feels like, which we kind of know. We've shot these before. And then we'll put the same exact HXP 30-06 into the Johnson and then we'll each fire like 5 rounds to the Johnson to kind of give us a little, you know, example maybe of how each one fires. We're going to be looking at just overall recoil, handling characteristics, stuff like that, just how it feels. So, nice.
All right, sounds good. Let's do it.
Okay, starting out with the M1. I don't know if I mentioned this before. This was my very first Milsurp that I bought. This is what started the whole addiction. All right, I'll probably do 2 kind of slow and then maybe 2 rapid, just to sort of get a feel. Not bad. You know, it's a little kicky, but it's fun. There's just something about the M1 just has a certain sound to it that's just real satisfying to shoot. That's real fun. Yeah. Want to put 4 through it?
Well, I guess for comparison's sake, I'll do the same thing. 1 slow, 2 fast. And he saved the ping for me.
I think the casing hit the camera. Now we'll do the Johnson. Of course, it's a pretty different loading method. It's kind of weird. My instinct is to open up the bolt to start loading it, but of course you don't have to with the Johnson. You can just start pushing the rounds in. These are Swedish stripper clips with the 30-06 on it. It works just fine in the Johnson, and it'll work in stuff like 1903s and 1917s and like. So you just sort of push that in there, and the clip just naturally falls out. I like this because it's a 10+1 rifle, where the Garand is not. The Garands are really a 7+1. So you could have a total of 11 rounds in here. You know, you can have 1 round in the chamber and top up the magazine. Pretty neat design. So let's go ahead and fire off some rounds. I'll probably do, I guess, 3 slow, 2 fast. Kind of keep a similar cadence with the last one. That's funny, it was so smooth I had to do like a press check there because I didn't feel it picking up the round. It felt pretty smooth. So the safety on the Johnson, of course, you don't have to have your finger in the trigger guard, which is nice. Your finger can be outside. All right. Huh. First impressions, that might feel a little sharper. Hold it in tight. Huh. I think the recoil impulse on this is a little more sharp. I'm kind of surprised. I wasn't expecting, I mean, it's a completely different recoil mechanism, so I shouldn't be super surprised, but kind of unique. It's a unique feeling gun. You don't, recoil operated guns, you don't shoot or handle or whatever that often. Typically most people don't. You know, you shoot piston guns or EI guns or whatever. So It's a different feel, huh? Here, give it a shot, Joel. See if this is just me.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It feels a little sharper. I'd compare it a little bit more to the kick of like a SVT 40.
Huh. Yeah, I think, yeah, thinking about that, I think it does kind of feel different. I don't know. Yeah, it's less in line. So the buffer tube, it's not like the AR-15. It has an AR-15 style sort of buffer tube. That's where it kind of comes from. But it's downwards. I don't know. Did you feel like you got a little more muzzle rise than the M1 out of it?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just because the buffer tube's at an angle like this. So you have the barrel like this horizontal, and then the recoil system's like this. So I think it tends to lift up a little bit more.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
typically when I fire too quick, I can still get both decently on target. But I noticed the first shot I was in the berm, second shot was at the top of the berm, as opposed to both kind of down. So yeah, it did climb a little bit on me, but
there, I'm gonna show you a funny trick with the Johnson rifle here. So you know, load rounds in here just like normal. Now, kind of like Joel was saying, you want to, something about the center of balance on this gun, you kind of want to put your hand here. It feels pretty natural, and your fingers kind of go on this little cover here, like the magazine feed cover. But the thing is, if you put your hands here, and let's say you squeezed just right, it's like that happens. If you press it in just enough. You know, like there's certain World War I pistols, you know, like the Steyr or whatever, that do that kind of thing. But I don't think I've ever seen it from a rifle before, and I don't think I've seen anyone else talk about that. So probably one of the big advantages that kind of people say with the Johnson is the fact that it can be topped off, unlike the M1. It doesn't have an M-block clip, so this gun technically can have any number of rounds in it, you know, less than 10, and you could still insert the magazine or insert a clip into the magazine pretty much. So you could just pretend like, I don't know, that you loaded 10 and you shot 5 and now you want to top it up. I mean, it's pretty much the exact same thing. I like the fact that you can, let's say you can have a live round in the chamber for whatever reason. So I'm kind of imagining a scenario like you're a Marine in the Pacific, and you know, you want to have your gun at the ready in case a Japanese soldier pops up. You know, you're worried, but you also want to top off your magazine. And unlike an M1, you basically have to, you know, open up the gun and unload it if you want to load it again. But this one, you can have one in the chamber ready to fire, and then you could top it up. Also, single loading, kind of a big thing with this. You can just press in, you know, a single round into the magazine. It's not that difficult. Again, with one in the chamber, the gun ready to go. So you could be reloading this and then pop up and shoot it. Maybe that's one advantage of the Johnson. I'm not sure, but yeah, we'll shoot 5 rounds each again out of the Johnson, and then we'll shoot some 7mm Mauser through it, and we'll kind of compare the 30-06 Johnson to the 7mm Johnson. Yeah, it's kicky. It's a kicky gun. I don't know if it's quite as bad as like a 30-06 bolt gun, but it's not recoiling. Like it's.
And we've shot now 15 rounds through, no heat.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Well,
that's good.
I guess right here, just barely, right where the barrel comes in contact. But
oh yeah, up there. Oh yeah, that's pretty warm.
But
yeah, the barrel
anywhere
itself is
where
warm.
there's this cheese grate.
Yeah, the shoulder thing that goes up here is pretty cool still. Yeah, I guess it serves its purpose. It's ventilated in the heat, protects your hand. That's good.
No primer.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, no, not sure what that malfunction was. There's no primer strike on the cartridge. Yeah, now looking at this while I'm editing it, it's pretty obvious that the barrel latch there came undone just under the recoil. I talked with somebody about this, and apparently if the spring is kind of old and worn out on the barrel latch on a Johnson, that this can happen, and in fact it's happened with this very rifle before. So I think this is a problem that's maybe just with this gun, or maybe just with a 80-plus-year-old barrel latch spring. Yeah, it's got a bolt hold open, so you have to like do this thing where you push your hand in there. If you just want to try to fire off the last round. Oh. All right. Well, there's your problem. You want to show the camera this real quick? Yeah. The barrel wasn't so damn hot I'd pull it out. I'm guessing recoil made this latch undo, and the barrel just came right out. Huh. Yeah, the round just went through the front because there's no barrel or chamber in it. Huh. That's interesting. I don't see any damage to the barrel or anything. Huh. God, if it wasn't like 80 years old, I could just blame the design, but I don't know if it's old and worn and used and beat up or whatever. It's hard to blame the design for that, but the barrel came off and it's really hot. I can't hold it with bare hands. I'm just holding it with a shirt, but huh. That's interesting. That doesn't happen all the time. So since the 30-06 barrel just fell off, I'm going to take this opportunity to go ahead and put this barrel on. This is a Chilean contract 7mm Mauser barrel for the Johnson rifle. Pretty much the Chileans ordered 1,000 Johnson rifles, but they wanted it in 7mm Mauser because that's the caliber they had. The cool thing is 7mm Mauser, the cartridge, the case and everything, the case head and everything is very similar to 30-06. Of course, it's just shorter, so which means it's compatible, at least on paper, with the Johnson. So we're just going to drop the 7mm barrel in here and fire some rounds through it. Of course, this thing is a little tricky to do. There we go. There we go. The barrel mates up and everything just fine. So let's put some 7mm through this thing and see how it handles. This is 1938 manufactured 7mm Mauser made by DWM. It's high quality stuff. I've shot it before through other guns. That's a neat thing about this for the Chileans. The Johnson rifle is just the way it is. It's automatically compatible with these the 93 style stripper clips. So you didn't have to change anything with them. You know, because the gun it's stripper clip fed, the Chileans literally could just be handed one of these and just use their standard 7mm ammo and clips with it and everything. So there we go. Let's fire some rounds through it. Let's see how the 7mm feels. Let's see what's going on here. You know, it didn't do this when I was cycling it by hand, but now that I'm at the range, oh, there we go. Yeah, okay. Alrighty. Automatically, so much better. I think there's a little bit of a hang fire with that last round, and now you just have a click and no bang, so we might have a primer strike. This could be the ammo, maybe. Yeah, light primer strike. I could put it back in the gun and we'll see if it works. Yeah, it fired the second time. Oh, the bolt's open right now for some reason. This could be because of the bolt hold open. I might have to take that out and see if that's the issue. I don't know. Was that 5? You wanna shoot some? Okay. You're probably like, heck no, I don't trust that thing. There we go. A click and no bang. Another click and no bang. Okay. So either the Johnson system is just kind of has a, it's not the strongest primer striking, firing pin, or these primers are just super, super hard. But I mean, I've shot them through Mausers before and they've been just fine. Okay, another click bang. Okay. Another click bang. All right, the last one fired. The bolt didn't hold open. Wait. Oh wait, that wasn't the last one. Yeah, so 4 light primer strikes. So I'm just gonna load these up and all right, yeah, let's see if this single loading works. Yeah, that's it. Single loading is easier with the bolt closed. Didn't realize that about the Johnson. All right. Okay, another click. Alrighty. I'm guessing the 4 that went off are the ones that had previous light primer strikes, and the second one's doing it, so let's see if that's it. Yeah, that's it. Huh. Okay. Interesting. Much lighter recoiling in 7mm. Not like drastically lighter, but definitely lighter, a lot handier. I'm just a big fan of 7mm Mauser, so I'm just gonna, I automatically feel like I'm just gonna kind of say it's better, but yeah, very interesting. If I was gonna shoot this, I think I would shoot 7mm through it and not 30-06, even with the finicky issues. Or again, I'd probably, if I was just gonna go to the range to have fun, probably just by myself, I'd probably take an M1. But if you want to bring this to a shoot or impress people or whatever, I guess that's a pro for the Johnson. But man, you sure you don't want to shoot any 7mm through it?
Well, there's your light strike again.
Huh. Now is it light striking? It's like, is it light striking now because it's like dirtier, but we didn't put that many rounds through it. This gun was perfectly clean when I brought it out here. Or is it just the system? Or is it this gun?
Did you have to swap out firing pins? Was like the 7mm firing pin slightly longer than 30-06?
Not that I know of. I don't know. It doesn't say in the Johnson book. It doesn't. There's like 3 paragraphs about the Chilean 7mm contracts. It doesn't give any specifics about any other parts other than the barrels. It's literally a 7mm Mauser barrel that they kind of put the Johnson hardware on and put on. But I think it's all supposed to be compatible. Man, what's your impressions about the Johnson? This is both of our first time shooting it.
Yeah, first time me firing your Johnson.
Yeah, first time you're handling my Johnson on camera, and it's kind of big and heavy and bulky around the hands. I think it's fun overall. The shooting the 7mm at the end kind of maybe gave us a not great taste, left us with not a great taste in our mouths. After all, the 30-06 shot fine, which is, albeit sort of heavy recoil. I guess just so you know, I don't know if the pure Chilean contract ones shoot better, but just dropping a 7mm on your regular US Johnson you might have some issues. I mean, this is quality ammo too, so I really don't think it's this. This is, you know, actual Milsurp 7mm. I mean, maybe commercial ammo that doesn't have such hard primers maybe it will shoot a little bit better. But yeah, I don't know. Like Joel, if you were a soldier and you had to be issued, you could shoot both of these, and you're going to go to the Pacific and fight the Japanese. And they said, hey, well, you want a Johnson or you want an M1? Like just after today's little experience, what do you think you would take?
Well, that depends. Does this one have quirks from 80 years?
Yeah.
Because
let's just say no. Yeah.
Honestly, if I was just sitting there looking at the features, I might take this. But then once I got to know the guns better, I'd probably take the Garand. Just because I mean, both of them are fairly easy to take down, but I think this one would have more. You need to do your mud test. I think this one would have more that would jam up with sand, with various things over time. Whereas that, I don't know. This one seems to have more maybe delicate parts that would jam, as opposed to that, which is just big parts. If that makes sense.
Yeah, you know, the guy I got the Johnson rifle from, one of the conditions was that I had to mud test the Johnson rifle.
Hope he gave you a discount then.
And it's I mean, it gave me a good deal on the rifle, but it's that's hard. That's really hard to get myself to do that. Just looking at kind of the like, there's this little exposed area on the left side, and
because I can see daylight through there.
Yeah,
that portion right there. So I mean, that's just, whether you lay it down this way, you're going to get stuff up in your chamber.
Yeah, and especially I could see if you're lathering on mud through this barrel shroud, and if there's mud in this area where it's very tightly fitting, and the mud impedes the barrel recoiling, I could see that being an issue. But it does seem, I mean,
well, also you said on this the recoil goes down, right?
Yeah, the recoil tube goes down.
Because if you get dirt in here, where's that going to pack up? It's just going to go right in your recoil system. As opposed to that, you can pull the trigger guard, break the gun in half, jump out whatever you want.
Yeah.
As opposed to this.
Oh, got my M1 apart, and now I can diagnose what's wrong with it. That is sort of a plus with the M1. I gotta say, I think I was expecting to like the Johnson a little bit more today than I do.
Yep, I agree.
And
it's one of those like coolness factor guns that it's just like, you don't see it. The drum mag, I mean, just, you can top it off. It's just got all the features that you want to love. And the features, yes, love the features, but practicality, I think I'm gonna have to go with the Garand.
Yeah, I wanted to say, after shooting today, I wanted to be like, I wanted the Johnson to be lighter recoiling, and you know, the barrel popping off and stuff like that is just kind of like, oh crap. It just kind of makes me trust it a little less.
It's probably just a worn catch, but still.
Yeah, like say if your Johnson was absolutely perfect, wasn't 80 years old. Gosh, I think I would still go with I think I would still pick a Garand over it. There's just a lot of little things that I like better about the Garand. The faster loading speed. I think the sights are better on the M1. Yeah, just, interesting. I don't know. It's just one of the interesting things. If you have access to a Johnson rifle, I highly recommend you shooting it. If you've got a friend who has one or whatever, try to put some ammo through it, because it's really a interesting shooting experience.
Now, did they say it's supposed to run better with or without the bayonet on it?
Better without. Better without the bayonet.
I was gonna say, because I have a bayonet in there, we could run it with and try it if you wanted, but
kinda, yeah. I don't think I've ever seen a Johnson shooting with a bayonet. Oh boy, yeah. Now we're gonna run some 30-06. I got the 30-06 barrel back on here. We're gonna run some 30-06 through it with a bayonet on, because I don't remember ever seeing anybody shoot a Johnson with the Johnson bayonet on. There you go, clicks right on. It's it's kind of reminiscent of like a, I don't know, like a Enfield Spiker kind of plain Jane Airshots style bayonet. But of course it had to be nice and light. It had to be a light minimalistic bayonet because you don't want to interfere with the recoil, you know, operation of the barrel, which is kind of a sort of a downside of the Johnson, but they did have a bayonet. So let's see how the gun shoots with the bayonet on it. Okay, feels like I'm holding a spear. Light primer strike. Maybe it's not the 7 mil. Maybe it's the gun. Wait, no. I don't think it fed. I don't think it. I think the bayonet might have made the gun short stroke and not pick up the next round. Let's see if we can get that to happen again. Here I got 2 more rounds. I'm gonna feed in the gun just so that we could see if we could duplicate that malfunction here. I'm not. What's the limp wrist equivalent of a rifle shooting? I'm not limp shouldering this gun, so I think that's an issue. What if I did try to limp shoulder the gun? I wonder if you could induce a malfunction that way with it for whatever reason. Let's see. I'm just going to kind of shoot it like this. Huh. Okay, so that's not it. I don't know why I didn't pick up that second round. A couple rounds left in here if you want to shoot it with the bayonet. Not much difference recoil wise or really any other way that I could tell, except for that one malfunction. I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah, feels about the same.
Yeah, feels the same with the bayonet. Maybe that was a short stroke. Maybe I don't know. I don't know why that malfunction happened. But I'm glad I got it on camera because it's just one of those little things. Huh.
I already thought it was kind of a long rifle. How's it compare?
It's
it's only a couple inches longer.
yeah,
Not
the
much.
Johnson is just a little bit longer than the M1 overall, and then you add the bayonet, and then it really makes the Johnson feel like a very long rifle. Huh. Okay, I think final verdict of the Johnson might be quirky, cool. It's a fun gun to shoot, but
Can be more compact.
yeah, it could. Yeah, it's a big plus that you could take the barrel off. It's a quick change barrel for, that's a big thing with the the Marine paratroopers and stuff like that.
Well, I guess you can break that in half pretty easily.
Yeah,
too.
I guess technically you could just do like what I did before and just take the stock off, because it's super easy to take the stock off the M1, and then you have a pretty compact package there. So, I don't know. Yeah, Johnson rifle, fun.
Yep.
I don't personally think that it's better than the M1. I would say for the era that it was in, for being a semi-automatic rifle being made in the 30s, probably better than most. But compared to the M1, with all the M1's faults, I don't know if the Johnson's better. I don't know. Maybe the early gas trap M1, the Johnson was better than. But I think once you get into like 44 production, M1s, I think you have a superior rifle. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know, whichever side you're on, I guess, fortunately, unfortunately, but yeah, nice. Well, thank you for letting us shoot these rifles on your land, Joel of Panzerfaust Armory. That just naturally came up there, that Joel is with Panzerfaust Armory and has a website of the same name. But thanks so much for letting us shoot, man.
Absolutely,
like
anytime.
always, and I'll have to shoot some more guns soon. Thank you guys for watching.